Okay, for number 5, we are going to multiply these two algebraic fractions, these two rational expressions, okay? And the deal is that we will factor, and then cancel, whenever we can find a common factor on the top and on the bottom, okay? So let's go ahead and factor this out first. We have 3x minus 9. Well, we do notice that we have a 3, right, in common, so we can factor out 3. And this is going to be x, and then bring down the minus, and originally we have 9. Divided by 3, we have 3. So we have that for the factoring, and that's it. For this one, this is x squared minus 64. We can also look at this as x squared minus 8 squared, and we can use the difference of two squares formula. Therefore, this is going to be x minus 8 times x plus 8, okay? 64 is the same as 8 squared, so that's what we have. And then for this one, this is still two terms, but to factor out 4x squared minus 32x, we notice that 4, right, is a common factor, so we can factor that out. And then this has x squared, this has x to the first power, so we can also factor out the x. So be sure you factor out the GCF whenever possible, and that's what we did. And now, originally we had 4x squared, but we factor out the 4, and then we factor out the x. So we have one more x left, right? So x to the first power. Bring down the minus. Originally, this was 32, but we factored it out a 4. Just think about this as 32 divided by 4. We will have 8. And this x was factored here already, so this is what we have. 4x times x minus 8. Once again, to double check, 4x times x, we do have the 4x squared, and then 4x times negative 8, we will have the negative 32x. So that's good. At the end, this is a trinomial, 1 in front of the x squared, so we can just start with x and x like this. Now, what times 4 will give us positive 9? Together, they add up to be negative 6. We need negative 3 and negative 3, isn't it? Anyway, this is pretty much the factoring, and here comes to the best part. Starting from this factor 3 first, is there any number on the bottom that we can reduce out with 3? No, right? So this right here stays. Next, we see that we have x minus 3, and we notice that there are 2 of them. So we can cancel out this x minus 3 with one of these 2, x minus 3. Earlier, you shouldn't write x minus 3 as x minus 3 to a second power. You should write it down like this, write it down twice. So I can keep track better to see how many of the x minus 3 that I'm canceling out. Okay, I have 4 right here, but I don't have any of the numbers on the bottom, so this 4 stays. This x is pretty much by itself, because you see, this is 4 times x minus 8. For this x, I don't have any x factors on the bottom, so it stays. And we have the x minus 8. I can cancel this out with that, right? And that's the most that we can do. Finally, we will multiply the tops together and multiply the bottom together. So 3 times 4, we can work that out. So that's going to be 12. And then we have the x as well. So we have 12x on the top. Over, we have x plus 8 times x minus 3. We will just write it down like this. X plus 8 times x minus 3. This is called the factorative form for the answer. This is actually preferred because now there's nothing else we can cancel. That's why I boxed this already for the answer. That's it.